Hi, my name is LaJune Singleton. I am a board certified health coach, as well as a health and wellness coach, personal trainer, and a nutritional and lifestyle coach. Um, Today, I want to talk about what I personally experienced, my struggles with trying to lose weight, as well as try to operate through life due to living in my past. I was stuck in my past. I couldn't get out of my past. Dealing with grief of losing my father at the age of 6, being molested as a child. I told my mom told me to tell my aunt, not having my voice heard. And I know many women struggle with not being heard and not being seen. And that translates over to unhealthy lifestyles. At a young age, I was sick either every other week or at least 3 or 4 times within a month. That translated over to my adulthood of being sick, constantly being sick, having jobs that mirrored me, having relationships that mirrored me, where I wasn't happy. I was not happy. I was uncommitted. I was unfulfilled in my life. I was lonely. I was depressed. I was suicidal. And 2011, I gained a lot of weight from a knee injury. I was in a state of depression, did not realize how much weight I gained until I tried to get dressed to go to a doctor's appointment, and I couldn't put my pants over my knee. Doing that, I continued to emotionally eat, emotionally trying to cope and mask those wounds that continued to replay in my head over and over again. I didn't know how to handle it. I was scared. I was alone. I couldn't go to my family because I couldn't talk to them. After I told my mom that I was molested, I literally shut down. I would not open up to people about my personal life and what was going on with me or what I was feeling, because I felt my voice didn't matter anymore. And it was awful. And I know many women suffer from that, where they feel their voice isn't heard. Either they've been through sexual molestation, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, dealing with grief. I've actually had clients who've lost sons and loved ones, and the whole thing of why them, not me? They should be here. I shouldn't be here. And not understanding why God decided to take a loved one away from us. And literally, that's how I felt. I was in a very angry state. I was unforgiving. I was holding grudges. I was just walking around just with a mask. And actually had a pastor tell me one time, you're angry with God, you're angry with your father, and you're angry with your mother. And I'm like, I'm not angry with my dad. She was right. I was angry with my father. My father died. He was my first love. As we know, your parents are your first love. And he was gone. He wasn't there to protect me anymore. He wasn't there to love me. And I always imagine, how would life have been if my father was still here? And that went on for years. And I remember as a kid asking God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Why? And I know that's questions you as women are asking all the time. Why, God? Why me? But sometimes we have to realize that God gives us things to turn that into our testimony to help other people. And I realized my struggles was to help others. But I needed the tools, because you just can't do it by yourself. I went to Bali for a retreat in 2019. And I am so thankful my friend invited me to go to that retreat. Relationships were awful. As I said, jobs were awful. I was getting jobs and I was sick every other week. And it was the same type of jobs, just different pay, different employees, different supervisors. I went to this retreat and I learned that I was suffering from abandonment issues, from grief, from unforgiveness, from loneliness, from hurt, from so much anger that was pent up, which was causing me to become sick, which was causing aches and pains in our bodies that we don't even realize that we're living with that trauma within us and how it looks within us. Went there, learned that, and it changed my life. And it was able for me to be able to be a blessing to other women. I started to show up differently. As soon as I came back, I went to work and people were like, "Oh, you're glowing. You look so different. You look so happy." And I felt happy. I felt at peace for once. I wrote a letter to myself, forgiving myself. Because one thing we do, we blame ourselves when things don't go right. We say, "Oh, you stupid. Why'd you do that?" Okay, we make mistakes. Learn from those mistakes so you don't make those same mistakes again. We blame God because God is control of the universe, of the world, of us. And he is able to fix all things. But sometimes we don't realize God puts us in a position to be better and to help others. But again, as I said, we needed those tools. I forgave my father. My dad didn't intentionally die on me. He fought, he drowned, and a guy put his pedal out to try to save him. And he tried to reach for it, but he was unsuccessful. And that could have been because he was panicking and he was scared. My mom, worked with the tools that she had as a parent, as a single parent. I don't know what her upbringing was. I don't know what that looked like, being a single parent, because I'm not a parent. But she gave me love. She took care of me and my sister the best she could. And she went without to make sure we had. And I appreciate her for that. So I had to learn to forgive her. The hardest of all was being able to forgive my cousin who molested me for years. That was the hardest. But I had to forgive him because it's like drinking rat poison and telling him to die. But I'm the one dying inside by being sick constantly, by having aches and pains constantly, by sleeping all day long and just having depression and showing up in relationships, not being committed. And I was able to forgive. So I wrote a letter forgiving him. I didn't mail the letters, and that's something I would recommend for you ladies. Write a letter to yourself, write a letter to God, write a letter to whomever hurt you. You don't have to mail the letters. That's just something to help you release what's going on with you so you can be able to move on. Another thing I had to learn when past thoughts came up for me, how to talk to those things and say, "You know what? Okay, you don't reside here anymore because I'm in the present." And one thing is we live in the past or we jump to the future. We never live in the now. And I had to learn to realize, okay, what are you moving forward for? Stay right here, stop rewinding. And I had to talk to my past and say, "You don't live here anymore. I've moved forward and I've learned from that. And I'm a better woman because of that, because I lived as that 6-year-old girl for years. And now I'm a woman and I'm able to own being that woman at this point in my life and embracing that. Learning to love myself and stop trying to find love through other people. And that's what I did. I tried to fill voids in relationships. I would get out of relationship into other relationships. I would put all relationships in friend zones. And I would tell them, "Hey, if this isn't working, we can just be friends. And our friendship is more important than the relationship." Basically, I'm saying to them, I care about you as a friend, but I don't care about you as being in a relationship with you. That's not fair to them. And hurt people. It's unintentional thing. We hurt people. We also jump in relationships with people who are hurt. So that's what I mean by we mirror each other. We end up being with somebody who's broken as well as we're broken. And we're trying to fix each other. But we first have to learn to fix ourselves. That's what's more important. You can't pour into someone when you're running on E. Most important second thing is getting the tools that's necessary. Get those tools. Mindset is important. Start with mental. Find a therapist, a counselor, find a health and wellness coach, find an emotional intelligence coach, find a life coach. You can find a combination of all because Oprah Winfrey definitely has it, and I've had it. where I've had a therapist and I've had a emotional intelligence coach. Secondly, get your physical together. Go to the doctor. If you don't like your doctor, find another doctor, because I hear many women say, well, I don't like my doctor. Okay, why you keep going to this doctor if you don't like this doctor? Find a doctor that you're comfortable and you're able to be honest with, because we're not honest with our doctors. Most of us go to the doctor and the doctor asks you a question and you'll say no, when you know the truth is yes. Don't get to the stage 4 of anything, because we've seen so many people pass away last year being at stage 4 of cancer. Be honest with your doctor and say, hey, this is going on. What can I do to move forward? Get your physical together. Get your nutrition together. Find a nutritionist to go to, find a dietitian, find someone to help you. Also with that physical, start getting mobile, start moving around, doing a commercial, watching your favorite show, or doing your lunch break, walk around, doing a commercial, get up, walk in place or jog in place until your show comes back on, and repeat that. Just stop being in a place where you're stuck, because you can help yourself move forward. Again, take time out for yourself. We as women, we don't do that. What we do is, again, we pour into everybody else and we're literally on E. We pour on our kids, we pour on our family members, we pour on our mate. We don't make time for ourselves because we feel guilty. Why should I pour into me? Always pour into you, because your kids see when you're not pouring into you, you're setting an example, and it's that whole generational curse. And it goes cycle, cycle, cycle. So let's stop doing that. Pour into yourself. Take some time out for yourself. Take a walk. Treat yourself to dinner. Take a bubble bath. Have girl time. The world is slowly starting to open back up. Take a girls trip. Do something for you and not feel guilty about it. Because again, you're setting an example for your kids. You're learning to be healthier in your relationships, as well as pouring into yourself so you can pour into others and know what that looks like. Start learning to love you. Let's stop trying to find happiness and feel in boys and other people, because I've done it for years and I'm guilty of it. I've tried to, make other people happy. I wasn't happy. Now I am happy, and I know what that looks like. When guys approach me and they're like, oh, I want to make you happy. You can't make me happy. So that means you're not happy if you're trying to make me happy. No, I'm happy with myself, and I don't need anybody else to make me happy. I know what love looks like at this point. I know what commitment to myself looks like, so I can commit to others. That is the most important. If you don't know those things, you can't provide those things. I'm my own self-joy. I'm my own self-peace. And I'm able to be still and hear God. And for years, I couldn't hear God because my mind was just going, 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 going. And when you have so much chatter and so much noise, you can't hear what God's saying. And most of those years, I'm mad at God. God was already talking to me, but I just couldn't hear him because it was that chatter of the past. I'm trying to jump to the future. I'm mad. So much is going on. Now I'm able to hear him. When I know I need to be still and meditate and pray, I do that. And I definitely suggest 5 minutes to an hour out your day. Either when you wake up, in the middle of your day, before you go to bed, meditate, pray, and stretch. Be able to hear God, talk to God. If things aren't going a certain way, ask God, okay, God, what's going on? How am I supposed to move? Journal throughout your day. Even if it's about nothing, whatever your thoughts are, journal about it. See it on paper. Another thing, affirmations are very important. Talk positive to yourself, because we as women, we are so negative and we talk negative towards ourselves. Talk positive towards yourself. Look in the mirror every morning and tell yourself how grateful and how beautiful you are that you are still standing, because it's a struggle, especially as a Black woman in this country. Thank God every day that you are still standing and you are still able to breathe. Do that every morning. And always give yourself I ams. I am beautiful. I am wealthy. And wealth doesn't always have to be money. It's wealth in you having support. You have love. You have people surrounding you. You have a roof over your head, clean water to drink, a bathroom to use. Most people don't have that. So be grateful for that. Another thing that's definitely important, again, take that time, 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 take that time for healing. Be able to heal. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to tell you that it's not. As I said, mine was 2019 and stuff still comes up for me. But I have the tools now to move forward. And when you don't have support, or you have people that's not cheering you on, and you have friends that you're talking to and you're telling them about a great ideal you have and they're not supportive, start looking at that. Are they really my friends? No, they're really not. Because if they can't support you and they tell you your ideal is dumb, why you want to do that? That's not somebody you want on your team. You want a positive circle on your team. You want people to uplift you, encourage you, and tell you, girl, get up. Let's do this. You got boss moves to make. I see what you're worth. That's the type of people you need around you. Always keep that in mind. Never belittle yourself. Never make yourself small. For years I did that. I made myself small. And I will no longer do that. I will no longer allow my voice not to be heard. And when it's not heard, that's not the people that I need in my circle. Because if you can't hear me and respect my voice and my words and my decisions and opinions, you're not my friend. And it's okay to move on, because people come in your life for a season. Everybody is not meant to be there for a lifetime. Keep that in mind. So I hope I was able to drop some gems on you ladies, because it's definitely important. In this season, we need to get better. We should want to get better. You can find me at LajuneSingleton.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn at LaJune Singleton. I thank E.R. Spalding and BlackWoman Confidential for being able to give me this platform to help other women and girls who are struggling, because we struggle so much and we don't have to struggle. There's so many tools and so many resources out here, from counseling, from healing, energy healing, from coaching, so many resources. It's also group resources if you don't want to do the one-on-one. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad that you're going to be judged, because trust me, I know I am not the only woman that has been molested. I know I am not the only woman who's lost a loved one. I know I am not the only woman that's had her heart broken. I know I am not the only woman who's had financial struggles. I know I am not the only woman who felt alone and depressed and abandoned. So don't be the only woman in the season going through that, because it's more out there for you. And you have to be willing to work to get more. So thank you again. My name is LaJune Singleton, and thank you, E.R. Spalding, for this platform.